I know it's other worlds destroying it, not just us. It's got to be because they live under the same ozone layer as we do, don't they? Ozone layer is way above, way out of there, and there's worlds that are below it. Because outside the ozone layer, there is no other world. They had to be under the same ozone. There's no such thing after that. There's no living kind. The planets are under the same ozone, like Mars and all of them. We're all under one. There's no such thing above, because that's out of question. But it keeps on expanding below the ozone layer outward. It stays even. It's all the galaxies are growing is under the planets are below the ozone. Because there's no such thing as living kind above it. We already proven that not even they can live. Maybe if shuttles can go over it, but I don't believe they can. Because when they shoot way up there, they're still below the ozone. There's no such thing. In their worlds, they can't get above that high. The moon's underneath that. The sun's below below zone layer. Everything is. What is above it? Well, I say above it is heaven. and there's millions of miles way up. We haven't made, millions of miles up. We haven't made up to, and there's probably millions of miles they haven't made up. It's still below the ozone. And millions of miles up. I mean, millions. So, what do you expect? Now, all those planets are all below it. They're destroying them with pollution. Because those shuttles are a lot of radioactive. And that hurts the ozone. It's pollution. It's toxic to us, and especially if they're living, it's toxic to them, but they don't do, they're overreacted. And maybe their bodies can take it more than us, but that will kill them eventually. Any humankind, anything living, radiation kills. Maybe their bodies, they can take it more than we can. But it kills them. They got struck by lightning and they came down, they died. So there is death to them, and what they're doing themselves is killing themselves. Maybe they have other ways around it. They can live a little bit longer than we can, but they all die from something. Billions of worlds, they all die from something. There's death. In its life, that means there's death. Believing that someone can live 800 years old, well, of course they can if they're powerful. Well, look at that. He was spiritual, right? But as part of him that was human, right? He died. There's death to him, There's death to him. He died. Something killed him. Well, yeah, gods die, don't they? Yeah, on earth. And when he sees something else when he's alive now, and where his spirit lives, he's a god, and he's already dead. But it's 800 years. Well, yeah, there's death to him. What killed him? By a heart attack. Maybe their own pollution back then killed him too. You don't know. If this world isn't meant to be made right no more, those worlds aren't either. There's no such thing as perfect. And there ain't perfect out there. Except for heaven. Those aliens and aliens of planets aren't perfect. We're not perfect, but they're a little more better than we are. They're a little bit more perfect than we are. A little bit more perfect. But we're not perfect. See, they're a little more closer to it. Those aliens and aliens of worlds are closer to it than we are, and there's some, and we're closer to some. But there is no world, the galaxy is perfect, except for heaven. If they're living kind, no. They're closer than we are to it, but they will never be perfect. Because they're not designed to be. There's some worlds that are trillions of years ahead of technology to us, but that's not perfect, though, is it? No, there's glitches. Their weather probably ruins it, and they haven't found a solution. Lightning can ruin it. Their lightning is the same as ours. It will ruin it. Yeah, so see, there's something else that will destroy it. There is something, and there will be something that can destroy them. Even the scientists say they believe what I believe. There's aliens of worlds and they're a lot higher technology. But if you sit down with them, there's death to them, isn't there? Yes. There's pollution that they're doing to the ozone. Yes. There's no perfect. They're closer than we are to perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. There's death, and there never will be. No, no world's ever be perfect, and and if you're a science guy, you believe in heaven, hell, yes. Hell is more farther than perfect than us worlds and stuff like that. But he's still not perfect either, is he? No. Jesus is that's the world that is perfect. There is a man that is perfect. And there's gods of other gods, but there's only three of them that meet the most powerfulest. The devil is the god of evil. He's the powerfulest one of evil. And good is Jesus and God. There we go. And that man is below those two. There's only the three strongest gods ever lived or ever will be. Is those three: devil, God, and Jesus. There's no other gods that are closer to powerful as those three. No. The most powerful one is Jesus and God. Yes, there always will be. Yes. Other gods, no. Mm-mm. No. There's only one God of there's only one God of good is close. The gods of good is Jesus and God. He doesn't put anybody before him, and he doesn't consider his models of gods. No, but the God of evil is only one, is the devil. But he allows other gods to be God of evil of their own sign. But he's the powerfulest. So there's other gods of evil, but only one God of true God, so good as heaven and God. But then he doesn't want any gods to be put in front of him. He didn't consider his workers gods. He's the God. The devil, he doesn't care if those other gods they put before him and let him worship, but he knows he's stronger than them, so he lets them do that. That's his way of thinking. He's a god of evil, so of course he doesn't care if you put other gods before me. You think that person's better than me. When you have something to wake up to, you won't worship me. You worship the man that works under me. Come on, well, whatever. But no, I'm the powerfulest, which is truth of evil. He's not my God, but he's a God of someone. And there's other gods in hell, not just one, a lot. In heaven, there's only one, Jesus. And his father crowned him, so we consider him God and Jesus God. We don't put anybody in heaven before him. You don't put any other evil gods before him. No. Uh-uh. No. No. Well, him won't be no devil, see? Nope. If it wasn't for God or Jesus, there won't be no devil. No. He knows it. That's his makers. But he never wants to admit it, But that's his makers. But he's just, no.